Hot and in motion. They are going to run it. And no signal yet. Touchdown!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GOML show. Yes, I am your commissioner, G, rising from the ashes after a lowly week 2. An incredible finish to one of the closest fantasy football games that we've ever witnessed. As you saw in the footage, we were just one sniped touchdown away. Or 2, if you want to remember the Tyler Algier one. Or, since it was only 0.6 points, Bo Nix's horrible interception. You name it, I'll buy it. If I could have it back, I would gladly do so. But you know what, Ben Campbell? I'm coming for you. I'm harnessing all of my Liam Neeson energy. I am going to beat that ass. See me in week 10. That's right, week 10. I've looked ahead. I see the schedule. I see Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, Brandon Aubrey, all on byes. I can't wait to kick this shit out of a half-hearted big football guy. And with that, we move on. Because guess what? It's Thursday Night Football. And we are so freaking back, baby. We don't really have a barn burner on the slate, but we have what could be, let's say, an abomination of a football game. I'm talking like a slaughter, a bloodbath, a destroying Josh Allen Bills team versus a dysfunctional, building coming crashing down Miami Dolphins roster that is, quite frankly, I think quitting on the coach and the organization. So who knows? But we should have a good one in store. And if you get bored by halftime because it's 72-3, enjoy a nice chili boy for the rest of us. With that being said, as a reminder, our trophy is here. Currently have up the league standings. And we shall jump into what we have for the week. We have, I would say, quite an action-packed show ahead of us. And some pretty interesting matchups, I would say. And a lot of grudge matches, if you will. Maybe even from previous years or just set some personal relations aside. I think people are going to really want to win this week. Maybe even more so than any other week. This is about when tensions start rising, people start tinkering with rosters, trade bait starts floating out there. So we really have a good show in store. We got a lot of information to get through, and it should be a lot of fun. With that, I'd like to take a look at the current standings. We have 2 2-0 teams, Matty Sims and all the King's Men. We have 2 0-2 teams, both in the veteran division. Really not showing up for us, guys. You're making us look bad. Mouse Cop, proudly, and the Rock Dog, sadly. I'd be remiss to dive into all the rest of these little stats and nuggets without my secret host for the week. So we may go back and forth pulling up the standings, but I've got a couple of notes here that I want to introduce. But our last week's guest host, Mr. Rito Larcino, Uncle Rito, Drunkle Rito, unfortunately 1-4 in his game predictions. So not really looking too good, Rito. The bright side, the one game you called right was you. You beat the shit out of Cop. It wasn't really particularly close. So good on you. And I look forward to knocking you off of that pedestal this week. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our weekly guest host of the week, Mr. Staley Cavey.
Appreciate you having me on, G.
What's going on, man?
Great to see first 2 weeks as a rookie here in the league. The videos, been loving what I've been seeing. I know Molly Kieran just left the job at ESPN. Perhaps maybe that's you. Maybe you're hopping into that seat there on first take.
I don't think I could go a full week with Stephen A. 6 inches in front of me and not absolutely destroy his Cowboys takes. But I could maybe I could meet up with Molly. She's got some free time. I've got some free time. But we'll let that resolve on its own. Caveman. We're coming off of 1-4 game predictions for Reed last week. I hope you have something better in store for us this week. No offense, Reed. But before we get into that, Thursday Night Football. How you feeling?
Yeah, huge week for Staley's smart team. We'll see if it's smart throwing Keon Coleman in the lineup this week. The Dolphins, as I know you very eloquently put it, absolutely mediocre. I got the over on Mr. McDaniel? That's Mike, right?
That's right, Mike McDaniel.
I got him on the over compared to Archie and Rock Dog's combined minutes watched of this contest. With so I think that McDaniel will be chief in the vape as they continue to see the ball go into their opposing end zones. But excited to see what Josh can hopefully do for me. I think it's going to be a big game of rushing the football. So hopefully that makes up for Keon. Probably having a lackluster night if I had to assume.
Well, I wouldn't get too ahead of yourself with Keon there. But as far as Josh Allen goes, since he's running with the stack, ladies and gentlemen. He's got Josh Allen and Keon in the lineup tonight. And Josh Allen is 12-2 against the Miami Dolphins, and he is undefeated at home against the Miami Dolphins in his career so far. So I could legitimately see you putting up 50 tonight, 35-15, even if they connect on one touchdown. I mean, it's there.
And that's what I'm thinking. He also averages 3 touchdowns per game against the Dolphins as well. So I would love to see maybe a 4 or a 5 on that, potentially to supplant, again, anything that Keon may not have for me. So I can't wait for it. I'm excited. Hopefully the team get off to a good start to kick off the night because these projections, looks like Ben Campbell's got them by 0.7. So we'll see what that looks like.
Yeah, projections are tough, man. I do have another stat for you. 12-point favorites over the last decade, 89% win rate. So, again, if you're out there on FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever, please, God, don't think there's just going to be some kind of upset in Buffalo tonight. It's just, I bet the house on a slaughter. I mean, Mike McDaniel might not make it out of this month. So, Dolphins, Bills.
I'm with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah, no, I completely agree. McDaniel's looking like it could be quitting time for him very soon. He may be on bad with us, potentially here.
That's awesome. Thursday night football performers, as we discussed, Keon and Allen for Staley's roster, James Cook and Devon Achane on James' roster, Rito playing the questionable Jalen Waddle as it sits. So, don't know about that one yet. Go ahead, leave them in, please. And someone has defense special teams of Bills. I think it's Ben. Is that right?
That is Ben. Yeah, Ben has the Bills special teams going against my 2 guys you just mentioned. Yeah. Yeah.
So that rounds out 6 Thursday night performers. Sorry, last week I was off on my numbers, but hey, listen. When you got the phone recording and the computer up with the Zoom, can't get all the numbers straight. I try my best. Couple of housekeeping things as far as the standings go, Stale. Things I've noticed over this last long 3 days post my week 2 loss. 2-0, Sins and King. 0-2, Cop and Rock. Love that. But what do I see there? What are the numbers telling me? Consistency rating, something that your commissioner has curated on his own. In the positive, I have King and Reed. King was plus 33 in points from week 1 to week 2, and Reed was plus 23, with both of them being above average scorers. In the middle there, G, Archie, Cop, Rock, pretty much the numbers, like the discrepancy from week to week, didn't change all that much. The only notable one there is that Rock was from 86 to 89, so still hasn't cracked that 3-digit marker yet, unfortunately. And then
Hate to see that for him.
Yeah, he's struggling. You know, it happens when you start 3-4 Packers, you know? I mean, they get such a lead, they don't have to score anymore. And unfortunately, rounding out the bottom of our consistency rating, or the self-made consistency rating, is Staley and Sins, both with the down arrows. Even though Sins is 2-0, he did drop like minus 30 points from his week 1 to his week 2 performance. Staley, you were about 40. I mean, it is a big drop off. And all of those came from Josh Allen, it seemed.
Yeah, 11 points. I look at the score. I'm in the airport coming back from Denver. I see that these guys are up 21 skunk on the Jets. And I'm saying to myself, Josh Allen certainly has to be having himself a great day. Lo and behold, he couldn't do a thing. I mean, guy got his nose broken, the first couple drives into the game, so that's tough. Just blessed to not be on Justin Fields' way with concussion this week, so that's good. But, was really disappointed in that. And you throw that in with the Denver defense, which I thought was great value in the draft, coming in with a -5. And I ended up losing by like 7 points. So could have been right there. Could have been the guy that was 2-0. So but had a really good pep talk with the boys this week, and we'll see what we can see if we can rally this week up against a good opponent here in Ben Campbell.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves with good opponent Ben Campbell. Have you heard of this thing called the prophecy? He talks about it only every 12 times a day.
Believe I have heard of that once or twice, yeah. We'll see if it'll be fulfilled this week or not. I don't know. We may have some twist of the tail here.
Yeah, well, part of the prophecy is that he has to lose just enough amount of games to where he makes this amazing late season resurgence. Just so happened to be that he snuck one away, or he stole one from me. Which does bring me to my next point. As far as consistency rating goes, Kent and Ben all over the map. I mean, both 1-1. Kent was the second highest scorer last week, and he dropped down 25 points. Ben was bottom of the barrel. I mean, posted like in the 60s week 1, plus 55, got himself up to 120 in week 2, which really stung because it's tough losing the game, scoring 120 points. You hate to see it. But you know what? Mark's rocking with us, so I'm rocking with Mark. And that's what we're going to have to go with.
I like that. No, I mean, it just makes for a good season, right? Everyone's kind of gone. The guys that were at the top, myself and Matt Masons after week 1 have dropped down, and now it seems like it's a pretty even race. I'm looking at the points against, so should be a lot of close matchups for this season.
Yeah, again, and not to drown you guys out with the projections because they are what they are, and we've seen that they don't always hold true. But still, the narrow margins, great for the league, and it has been pretty fun to see it unfold with 7 hours of kind of commercial-free football on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. Also, I forgot to mention, I do have my Bills and Dolphins pen here, so I like to stay on brand. Introducing our game of the week.
Yep, we got a barn burner this week. I think whichever guy wins this one, I believe, is getting a prune juice as a complimentary trophy. So we got Archie and the Rock Dog this week. These guys will be battling it out. Like I said earlier, I don't think combined they're going to watch over 10 minutes of this contest. With that in mind, a couple things that I thought were worth mentioning. One, new FIFA comes out at midnight tonight. Kyler Murray could be busy for Archie, so we'll see what that looks like for him. I know he's more of a Call of Duty guy, but, I mean, this guy's palate has to be expansive. I think he's got a new one lined up, getting that game a little early. So curious to see if Kyler Murray, if he drops above 18 points, I'll be very impressed.
Wow.
Additionally,
you heard it here first. Staley shooting his shot. Kyler Murray, minus 18. That's crazy talk.
We'll see. But then you look at the Rock Dog and you go, well, he's got Kareem Hunt roster, which only 28% of the people have. So what are we really doing here between either of these guys want to win is my question. So we'll see what that looks like. Other thing to look out for, I think it could be a big game from a defensive perspective, as these guys are up against the Browns and the Saints this week with their respective defensive units and special teams. So
That's right.
could look to maybe for Kareem Hunt, maybe he's just a punt this week. He gets 3 points, and then the defenses pick it up for him. But we'll see what that may look like. What about you, G? What's your thoughts?
My initial thoughts are Rock Dog starting 4 Packers, claiming Romeo Dobbs off the waiver wire this week. Didn't see that one coming. But yeah, it's boom or bust, right? I mean, it could be like last week. We saw on Thursday Night Football. Kraft came out hot. Jacobs came out hot. He just happened to run into a buzzsaw with James scoring 143 points. So if the Packers have a stellar week, and you said they play the Browns, right?
Correct. Yeah, I believe they play the Browns, and then somebody, I think I want to say it was Saints and Seahawks, maybe.
Yes, that is
I don't
correct.
remember
It is Saints Seahawks because it got Juwan against the worst tight end defense in the league. However, what's glaring to me is the multitude of Packers. So if they put up 50 like the Lions last week, great, good for you, Rock. But if not, you're tying your ship or you're tying your rope to a ship that could go. I don't know, bad boat joke, but you get the point. It could go anywhere. Archie kind of started that way. If injuries were not part of this, injuries in real football affect fantasy football. So, he had all those Chiefs right at the beginning of the year, and then, ultimately suffered some injuries, and Kyler dethroning Patrick for the starting QB1 position for America's team. Could be interesting. Could be really, really interesting. And it's a battle of the roommates. I mean, this one goes back. Goes way back. I don't know what they were doing in the 1920s, if they had fantasy football, but, those Leatherheads, they got buckets too. So we'll see. Only time will tell. I believe this one is going to be wrapped up on Monday night. I think that we do have a Monday night performer for this game. So it'll be a long weekend for these two. Who's your winner?
We got also you have a hot tidbit of ESPN ticker here, I guess GOML ticker, as Pat Mahomes has been inserted in the lineup over Kyler Murray.
Oh, wow. Big live changes here.
Probably 15, 20 minutes. So,
yeah, live changes on the GOML.
I don't know if he maybe has a live broadcast he's tuned into. Yep. So, I guess Archie's gone ahead and already maybe he's identified, maybe he knows Keith was coming out and he knew better. But other thing I did not do is selection. So we're going with the Rock Dog this week in that matchup, by the way. We're going with the Rock Dog.
Taking the Rock to get his first dub. All right. I love that. I hope it works out. Where should we jump to next? I want to save you and Ben for last because I currently hate Ben, and you're my special guest. So we'll jump right into Sins and King. 2 potential high scorers here.
Yeah, this one, to be honest with you, pretty cut and dry for me. I got Matty Sims.
3-0.
Really one horse in this race. JD5's banged up. Skill position guys for King James, though he's the king. They have a lot of tough matchups. So I think all the King's men, unfortunately, are out on this one. I think they're going down, and Matty Sims is coming in and taking over. How about you?
I can't bet against my guy, man. I mean, Matt, I want to love you. You missed draft weekend, and I hate that. Also, King's fucking awesome, and I like his squad. I think he's got a good team. I don't think he's going to get 35 out of Amon-Ra again, but shoot, Monday night against the Ravens, they're going to have to put up some points. So we'll see about that. Shoot, man, I don't know. I'm going to go with King. I'll have him be the only remaining undefeated team coming out of this weekend. Next on the top. Huh?
Sorry, got 2 things for you real quick. Roma Dunze, more points than Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and JSN.
On the season.
Correct.
Wow, that's crazy. Rome. That's what they say, it wasn't built in a day. It certainly wasn't built last year when people drafted him. So off to a hot start. And could continue on this trend going up against the Swiss cheese defense here. The boys, they're not stopping anyone. made Russell Wilson look like he was 25 again. So, I mean, gosh, they even tricked Kent Griffith into picking up Wan'Dale Robinson. Can you believe that? He's not going to get that many points ever again this season, unless he plays us, which is going to happen. But I think it's also the last game of the season, so that may not be fantasy relevant.
Not for Kent.
No, not for Kent. And with that being said, we will jump to Kent and Cobb. A lot of animosity in this matchup. Kent and Cobb, they haven't spoken at all this week, which is rare. They're like this.
Yeah, this is one. These guys really have to play. I mean, let's look at these rosters. I mean, just an absolute abomination. Kent, I mean, at least has McCaffrey doing well, but we got the glorified fullback and quarterback versus now Danny Dollars. He's no longer Dimes based on the performances here the first couple of weeks. We'll see what it looks like. Stats-wise, I don't have a ton here. My big thing, though, was the Vikings defense against Jake Browning could be potentially a matchup-winning thing here for K. Griff. So we'll see. I actually flip-flopped on this twice. I had my initial selection, went against it, and then went back to the well. And then I saw that Cobb decided, I guess, to draft, I think it's 3 teams with 2 players. So you were talking about the Packers earlier with the Rock Dog. Not really sure what we're doing with that from Cobb. So I'm going with Kent this week.
What's he got?
He's got the Saints twice. He's got 2 Denver guys, both on his bench. They can't even make the lineup. And then maybe I count 1 short. Maybe it's just 2. But yeah, so he's got 2 teams that, and again, one of those, both guys is on the bench. So what are we doing there?
I guess he's just saving it for later. I am also going to ride with Kent. Just nothing would make me happier than Cobb wholesaling his team after week 3 because he just finally realized that he's not the draft god he thinks he is. And truth be told, we have a double backup quarterback matchup in that game. So the Vikings defense versus Jake Browning and the Bengals, it's Carson Wentz leading the charge on the other side. So really, could be a defensive slugfest. I mean, it could be 13-10, could have a turnover for a touchdown. I mean, Carson Wentz, he sure loves throwing pick sixes, so that doesn't help Kent, but we shall see. We shall see. And we're running out on 9 minutes on our Zoom timer here, so we don't pay for them. If you'd like to sponsor us and pay for the full version of Zoom, you get in touch with me. Next on the docket, Rito versus G, our other roommate matchup of the week.
Yep. So a couple things I have on this one. I mean, big questions. You already brought up one of them. Can the Cowboys, are they interested in playing defense? The Caleb and DJ Moore stack, look for yourself this week, has to look advantageous. You have to feel really good about that. Good thing they played DeRon Bland $40 million instead of Michael Parsons. But then on the flip side, you got A.J. Brown, and this guy is being outperformed currently by Eric. I forget how to say his name. Almanor, the 4th rounder that we have in Tennessee. So I know they like to compare A.J. to Titans players and what's going wrong in Tennessee. But this guy has been getting cardio, as Terry McLaurin coined it, last season. So curious to see what that looks like. Jonathan Taylor's got more rushing yards than 20 teams in the NFL. So really, this is another one where I was torn. I actually went with my 1 pick to start off, and I swapped it. Other stat I have for you, looks like Jake Browning, Chase Brown connection, not great. We're looking at 11 games. He's got 42 average yards and only 3 touchdowns in those 11 games. So
what a great
time for Chase Brown.
What a great time to break the streak. I mean, get in the end zone, buddy. Just get in the end zone. Just hammer the rock. You gotta control time of possession. Give it to Chase Brown.
My pick there going to be the G-Man. So I won't do here.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Unfortunately, if I'm remembering correctly on these little weekly shows here, Reed has not been picked outside of him picking himself, and that is the game that he won. That's unfortunate, but it happened. So, tough matchup. I mean, I don't love it because I was forced to play Caleb and DJ Moore against my beloved Dallas Cowboys, but I know what's best for my roster, and I know I can't control what happens at the start, so I'm just gonna get the points, and just to Pickens. So, George, get in that box, my boy. Next up, Staley and Ben, yours truly.
Yeah, you want to leave this one off, I guess?
I listen. I'm not picking Ben. I think last week was a fluke. I knew it in my heart of hearts that I was running into Dak and CD and Brandon Aubrey, who had 23 points, by the way, against the Giants was going to be an absolute threat, and not even a threat, a promise. It was death, taxes, and Dak beats the Giants. So I mean, I knew I was going to get scored on. I knew I was going to have to put up numbers, and I did. I tried my darndest. My guys came through, but the Dak to George Pickens connection, it basically balanced out. Maybe I should have played JMO. Probably, I would have won if I did that, but I got to ride with my guys. And with that being said, Staley, right now you're my guy, so I'm giving it to the caveman.
I'm glad you are. I did not take myself in this one.
Oh my God.
We got a lot of issues here. I think they've got 4 questionable players this week between Ibuka. Brian Thomas decided not to practice today. He's also afraid of getting hit in tackle football. So we got that going for us. Tyler Warren back in the fold, and then DeAndre Swift also questionable. You put that with Jamar Chase having Jake Browning at quarterback. He has had 1 game of over 100 yards ever with Jake Browning. He scored 2 touchdowns that game. If I could get that, that'd be wonderful. But we'll see what that looks like.
So
CD also going. Go ahead.
Let me get this number right. You said Jake Browning had 11 starts with this roster, like, in recent history,
With Chase Brown, yeah. I don't know if
Chase
Jamar was maybe made up in some of that. With Jamar, in terms of the games, I think he's got like 6 or 7.
Okay.
And he's had 1 game of like 114 and 2 tuds. Outside of that, it's been anywhere from like 30 to like 60 or 70 yards. So,
wow.
Not loving that for me with my first overall selection here. Really curious what that could look like for us full season. I'm hoping maybe they trade for Jameis Winston. I know he's not getting a lot of love over in Giants land, but we'll see.
Oh my gosh.
And then also going up against CeeDee Lamb as well, who averages 100 yards per game against the NFC North, and Tyreek Stevenson's barbecue chicken. So watch out for me for 30 points probably from CeeDee Lamb with Dak Prescott having the stack there.
Yeah, you're running into the same situation I had last week. I mean, the Dak and CD connection is unbelievable, and on top of that, Jalen Johnson's out. The Bears are just kind of in shambles, but yeah, I hope you have a better fate than I, my friend. I think it's crazy, Doc, that you're picking against yourself. I mean, it's fantasy football, for crying out loud. You could make changes.
I could. Unfortunately, based on what the lineup is looking like for this week, I think I've got my best guys. I did scoop Blake Corum late, but he's never going to start, at least not right now. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out. Like I said at the beginning of the show, looking for a big day from Josh Allen here. And if, again, a couple things can fall my way, we'll have to see. But Drake London and Tony Pollard may save me. But outside of that, we could be in trouble over here with the smart team this week.
Okay, well, you heard it here first on the GOML pod. Staley is going with Ben. Shit, maybe you're pulling a Calvin Ridley. You're betting on the line? I think what's going on here?
Line's currently .07, so I don't know. Not a big old line there.
Wow. Only 2 minutes here on the Zoom. You got any quick sleepers or locks for the week?
I got Quinshawn Judkins having a breakout this week.
Wow.
I think Quinshawn is going to get busy. Yep. I think this is going to be the first week. Last week he kind of got integrated in a little bit. I think this week he has himself a good week. I got the Broncos, I believe, are dogs right now against the Chargers. I think they're going to get the upset. Hopefully this defense finally figures it out. So I am trying to help myself out a little bit there. And I mean, Matthew Golden has been able to get open these last couple of weeks, but Jordan Love has now decided to hit him with the football. So I think Matthew Golden hopefully can figure it out this week. Because I believe they have the Browns. Is that right?
Yes, they do.
And the Browns played far too well last week. They gave up 40, but in terms of stopping Derrick Henry. So I think Golden, maybe they're going to continue that, and instead they'll just give up 100 yards over the top to Golden. So
weird game that was. Super weird game. Joe Flacco looked 40. Quinshawn had a decent day, even with just 10 to 12 touches. Derrick Henry basically was non-existent. It was super, super weird game. But Staley Cavey, man, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time. I look forward to you getting that upset against yourself. So hopefully Ben drops down in the standings again. Stay tuned. Go out. Watch football with your friends. Friends, family football. That's what it's all about. And always remember to get on my level.